It is 7:35 p.m. as you guys noticed. If you look directly on your screen, there's a severe thunderstorm warning for Polk County and Jasper County. There's a storm over Des Moines or over Drake Stadium where the Drake Bulldogs is. That storm has the capability of producing half dollar size hail. It's moving east about 30 miles an hour. We have some more storms that have fired up over Iowa right now. Um, we have Marshall County that's under severe thunderstorm warning. This one has capable of producing ping pong ball size hail located near Marshalltown, moving east at 30, which is starting to fire up, you guys. So make sure you are weather aware. Earlier we had some funnel clouds in Illinois. No tornadoes have been reported as far as I know. However, here in Iowa we don't have that condition for tornadoes, but the one there in the Polk County in the Des Moines area, if you look very carefully at it, here, let me pull it up one more time. Excuse me. This thing is, I don't know how the radar is able to pick this up, but if you look very carefully, you can see what they meant. Can I zoom that in? No, I cannot. Okay. But that's kind of noisy, but if you see that circle south of Polk City, north of Johnston, that's where the Des Moines radar is at, and that's where the National Weather Service is at in Des Moines. But at least they are aware. Here is the bulletin for the if I can pull that up. Trying to pull up this message that was issued with that storm. There we go. It's located near State Center or 11 miles east of Nevada, moving east at about 30. But the last I saw was actually near Marshalltown. But if you look down below, that's where the locations are. People who are not familiar with ping pong ball size hail, that's about 1.25 inches in diameter. The hail's actually getting bigger, but the storms are just starting to fire. However, the thing is, I'll be watching it. But, yeah. Now, the thing is, it's been really hot today here in Iowa. Temperatures actually hit 90. Where I am actually been checking my phone, and at one point hit 91. Man. Okay. Just had to let someone know that I'm live because, they subscribe to me and I have to let them know that I'm live. But, luckily we just don't have that kind of dynamics for any tornadoes. If there is, it's very, very brief. I would say it's at least at a 1 out of 10, but you never know. The thing is, here in Iowa, we do get tornadoes. Sometimes it's as high as an EF3 or so. The last time I recall an EF5 was back in 2009 when it hit a town called Parkersburg in Butler County. I remember that. It wasn't really that good because it almost pretty much took Parkersburg right off the map. But that was just one lone supercell. And from the radar look, it didn't look that bad. I thought it was just going to be more of a hail threat. But apparently there's a special radar that the Weather Service uses, and they noticed a hook shape on the radar, and it went right over Parkersburg. But the thing is, it wasn't really that we didn't have that ingredient for that kind of stuff, but apparently up there in I mean, just one storm that fired him dropped an EF5. The Parkersburg one was about 1.1 mile wide. Um, Luckily, the town is back to normal. Has been for, I would say, about about 7, 8 years. But you never know what could happen here in Iowa, especially when some parts of it's in a tornado alley. But no matter where you're at, you'll still get some tornadoes, just like the um, just like April. I think it was April 13th, 2006, when it hit Iowa City. But the thing is, I looked at that and I go back to that day, and I remembered how bad that was. It was an F2. It was not really that wide, but some chaser was going down Interstate 80, going, I think it was east, and it was a pretty big tornado. But I think that was in Iowa City. If not, I think it was near Hills. Out of that storm, one fatality occurred in that one, but the one in Parkersburg, it's just hard to tell how many. But hopefully, these storms that are gonna happen tonight don't produce any tornadoes. But however, there's some hail, but very low damaging winds. But it's also been more of a hail and heavy rain threat. But the hail should be at least quarters. But again, the storm here in Des Moines, that's half dollar size, which I won't be surprised. That storm should be over Des Moines by now. Someone asked, how do we donate money? Well, I don't have that option right now because I'm just not as popular as I should be. Now, for those who do tune in, the reason why I'm on right now is because of these two warnings. The one that you see on the screen right now, that one should be over. That one should be over Marshalltown, no doubt it. But actually, you know what? I do have another phone. If I can, right here. I think. I don't even have anything with that one. Oh, here we are. But the nice thing is that with the technology the radar has now these days, you can see storms as far away as a full radar site. Because even though the Earth curves and the radar is flat, no matter how many feet off the ground the radar is, but you can still see it. But here's the thing. No matter how strong these storms are, you can still have, strong winds ahead of these storms. There's a storm in Illinois today that reached up to at least 65 miles an hour, and that's with just a small, I don't know how to put a small speck of a cell inside of a normal size cell. But I have not heard any wind damage out of that yet. But I know there's a lot of storm chasers and spotters out. Of course, I'm one of the spotters, so I'll be keeping my eye out. But luckily, I do have another phone. I'm going to look up the current updates on it. I hate these phones. But, I mean, what do you expect? I mean, come on. Now, I know my phone's gonna die, because I do have down to 16%. Let me charge this. There, I'm charging. Okay, so, now, let's see, I gotta go to my radioscope. Thankfully, I have a radioscope on this phone, too, so, yeah, that one shows Yeah, I usually use the reflectivity of these radars, but despite that's kind of hard to see, I don't use that kind of option. Currently, the severe thunderstorm warning for Jasper and Polk counties still goes until 8:15. Oh, that's an old one. I figured they would actually update that. Wait, did they just update this? No, they did not. Now, the storm there in the Polk County area that actually have moved off to the east of Des Moines. And they have just issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Pouchy Katama. This one is for $half size hail. This one's moving east at about 20. It was located near the Meskwaki Casino, or 7 miles southwest of Toledo. $half is about 1.25. Yeah, I can see this thing is gonna start moving more east, but it's actually lost that ping pong hail thing there. What else we have? Let me go back to that Marshall and Story County storm. This still shows. No, this is an old update. Looking for the newer updates. But the thing is, these storms are doing business. Back out because I'm just getting some old. And we actually have some hail reports here that I do want to pass along. This one is 2 of them. Oh yeah, there's a hail core going right through Marshalltown right now. Pea-sized hail, half-inch hail. Okay, there's one here with Melbourne, Iowa. There's a hail of 2 inches. Is that all the hail? Okay, there's one with 2.25. Now there's one in Tama County. This one has 1.75 inch hail. So these storms really are meaning business. And there's actually a high school track meet that's going on right now in Des Moines, and everybody has to take shelter in that, which I think everybody did. So what you gotta do, nice. But yeah. But anyway, I'll let you all know what the storms are doing. If any more issued, I'll let you all know. And you guys will, if it comes near here, I'll have you guys watch it for a moment so you can see what it's like. But all in all, it's going between ping pong and, as you guys heard me say, 2.25. That's about golf ball to baseball size we're talking right now. But hopefully it all weakens, but we just have that strong dynamic where it'll favor for hail. Because like I said, you have a cold front coming in, and it's been so hot here, it's pretty much going to be stationary. So when it's stationary, you'll just have round after round after round after round of storms, and the big problem is flooding. And the Mississippi River has been flooding issues for the last 2-3 weeks, and yet they're still flooding. But let's just hope it doesn't get any worse. But the way with all this rain that's coming in, it's probably going to happen. But anyway, I just want to thank all of you for tuning in. It is now 7:50. I'll talk to you guys when more warnings have been issued in my state. Until next time, so long.